on? What's going on? There we go. Hey, family. I'm telling you, I cannot see like what I look like till I get on here. So it's always a surprise to me. How are you guys doing? Thank you all for waiting because I just created this live because I had no idea that I didn't create it until I went to log on and it wasn't here. So I think moving forward, just a heads up, I'm going to create reminders for all of my lives a week in advance. Be mindful that they may change. I stopped doing that because things would come up in my schedule I have to change, and I didn't want to like continue to have to change stuff and adjust stuff. But I think that's just better just to have it and just change it. Oh, cut my finger and just change it when I need to. Because girl, I quickly created this stream in like 2 seconds. So I'm proud of myself. How are you guys doing? What did you guys think about this dry boots episode? I literally have nothing to talk about until we get the Lacey and Shane. Girl. How are y'all doing? How are we doing? How are we do? Unless you didn't miss anything. It wasn't a great episode. I got to be honest. It wasn't a great episode. We just had a little bit of tea about Lacey and Shane, and that was good. But aside from that, it wasn't a great episode. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac looks tomorrow. I'm going to do a video about that. So look out for that. Look out for that. Kimberly, thank you so much for saying that. Kimberly said, I can't wait for the dating game. Announcement. So the dating game will not return. I know, I'm sorry. Please don't thumbs down this video. Here is why. Last week, the death row inmate took a lot out of me. I gotta be honest with you guys. And when I thought about it, I realized that they did not send their profiles to me, right? I don't think they intended for their profiles to be on YouTube. It was just, we had an improvised night and we went searching for prison profiles and we kind of kept the game up. But yesterday, the guy was, last week, the guy just, I don't know, shook my spirit to the core. I got to be honest with you. And I just did, it wasn't fun anymore. It was for me. It wasn't fun anymore. And then I just started thinking about the consent of the felons who are the prisoners who are writing those prison profiles. I don't think they ever expected them to end up on my YouTube platform, which thanks to you guys is growing. While we're at 13K, which is not a small number, right? It's not a small number, but it's not, 100K. So while we're at 13K, we're going to let that game go. And then we're going to pivot to a more positive tone, which I hope you all enjoy. What I wanted to do is, I know that there are a lot of people who follow me, who are subscribed to my channel, who come to this video, who are, who are in relationships with people who are currently incarcerated or have built relationships with people who are incarcerated. And some of them are good, some of them are bad. But I do know that we have people like that within the Star family. So what I wanted to do, if you guys are okay with it, what I wanted to do, and I'll send out a reminder every Friday morning, what I wanted to do is have you guys submit your love after lockup stories, your love during lockup, your love after lockup. You can send them with your name. You can keep it anonymous. But if you want to submit your love after, your love before, your love during lockup stories, send them my way. Send them to my Instagram, which is NikkiNicoleStar. DM me, just put in the subject, this is for love at the lockup. Let me know if you want to stay anonymous or if you're okay with me saying your name. And then I'll share your story. And we don't know what kind of story people are going to send in. So we might have a chuckle, we might cry, we might leap for joy, whatever it may be. I think I would, I don't think, I know that will have a better, probably, won't be as shocking. You know what, maybe it will be as shocking. But that's the pivot that we're taking here at NikkiStar TV. I hope you guys are okay with that. I really, really do. I just, the death row guy, he ruined it for everybody. He ruined it for everybody. And then I started thinking about consent, and I was just like, you know what? I can't positively move on with this because I feel convicted. I got to be honest with you. So yeah, that's what's happening with the dating game. There will be no dating game tonight, and there will be no dating game in the future. Shout out to Timmy, and Big Meech. You two were and Mr. Hilton. You guys were the best bachelors ever. I am still on the hunt for some of the books, and I will revisit some of the books that some of the fellas that we loved wrote. I will also revisit a few of their rap careers, so we'll have fun. We'll have something fun with that. But just moving forward, there will be no more dating game, and I hope you guys understand, and I hope you guys send in your stuff, because I feel like for me it would feel better to have actual consent of somebody to share their story, their words, right? It would just feel a bit better for me if it was done that way. So submit your stuff. Again, my Instagram is in the description box. It's also, I think one of my moderators are going to put it in the comment section. But yeah, send me your love after, love before, love during lockup stories. Let me know if you want me to share them, or you can send in with permission, acquaintances, whatever, and let's have a cry, a laugh, a kiki, a chuckle, a jump for joys, a oh no girl, that's a red flag, whatever it may be. Send it in, and I'll share it after I do my review. We'll get into it, and you may get some great advice, you may get some cheers, you may just get your ego stroked. Who knows? Who knows? You can send in pictures too if you want to. But yeah, that's the pivot that we're going to be going in, and we're going to start that next Friday. Hope you guys understand. Love you. Love you. Oh, Marianne. Marianne said, I'm so disappointed that your dating game, that I've ended the dating game just because it means that we're going to spend less time with Nikki. No, we're going to substitute it. So send in your stories, and we'll spend our time after the review talking about that. Timmy won. There's no bachelor catching Timmy. There's no bachelor catching Timmy. And I think I might just revisit Timmy just for you guys. Just for you guys. Just for you guys. Let me just get a few more comments and then I'll get into the review. It's not. Ryan Round said Brittany and Marcelino should just quit. It's not interesting at all. It's not. It really, really isn't. It does not. I don't know. I'm just not believing it. It could be real, but I'm just not believing it. F. Usher said the one time I actually watched this episode and it was boring. It was so boring. Guys, this episode was so boring. I went back to the beginning and I went through it again. Like I didn't watch it all, but I, just slowly fast forwarded through the episode to see if I missed anything. But I didn't. This was just a really bad episode. This was the worst filler episode I've ever seen in all of my time watching reality TV. And I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Orange County. This was such a filler, and it was a terrible filler. Yes, I'm also going to check out Ready to Love. Not sure if I'm going to review it. If I am, I will let you guys know about that. But I'm going to check it out tonight to see if it's, worth my time. You guys seem to think it is. You really are into Ready to Love. Love like you are said, it was really dry, but the preview for the coming episodes look good. That's what they do, right? Because they just have to throw us fluff to fill out their, episode commitment to the network. So that's probably why we got this episode, although we have a lot of interesting stuff coming up. But I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in Love After Lockup because we normally don't get episodes like this. And we did. And I'm not used to this coming from Love After Lockup because they normally deliver. I'm sorry, Kimberly. We got to pivot. Sure did. Sure did. But guys, we have our memories. We have our memories. I hope you all enjoyed that. And I I know. I hope our memories are good enough. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you, JL. Yeah, that's another truth. Orange Turtle said, Nikki, Why am I so short? There we go. Said Nikki, definitely let it go. You don't know who these people know outside of prison and what wacky they can get up to if offended. That's very true. There we go. That's a lot better. That's very true as well. You know, safety. Safety. Love like you are, said Timmy, Helicopter Jesus, Hitman Jesus Superstar. You will be missed. We had some gems. And honestly, we should have ended it at Mr. Hilton because who was topping that? Who was topping Mr. Hilton? My God, today. All of his preferences were a slur. All of his preferences. Who can top Mr. Hilton? Who can top Mr. Hilton? Hey, family. I don't know if it's on Discovery, but I do think on this network they're going to create a show called Love Before Lockup, right? I know I didn't make that up. I seen that on this network. They're doing a show called Love before the Love During Lockup, right? I know I didn't make that up. Um, Black Lavender said Lisa the scammer worrying about if Stan is talking to other women when all Lisa wants is his money. Isn't she talking to somebody else as well? It's so weird how this is a terrible episode, but it's so weird how Lisa and Lacey were upset with their partners for possibly cheating or attempting to cheat when it's just like you guys are cheating as well, right? Lisa's talking to somebody else. When she left Stan, I think the second time she went to go meet up with that other person. She's been texting that person the whole time. And listen, it might be a twist and just end up being her son, but I'm like, you are looking as if you are cheating. And Lacey, you've been talking to John. You've been emotionally cheating on your husband for a while now. That's why you were very specific when you said, have I cheated on you since our daughter was born? Yes, you have, though. Even though you were trying to be slick with that comment, you have. You have cheated on your husband since your daughter was born. Glow Papa said, I recommend you review Married at First Sight UK or Australia instead of RTL. Oh, Ready to Love. The format of those shows is different from Married at First Sight, more couples and messier. I thought you guys told me that Married at First Sight Australia was fake and to not get into that. I thought you guys said that. Yeah, it's time, Christina. It's time. But how are they going to move on when they've made themselves reality TV stars, right? Like, what other jobs do they have lined up? What do they have? Yeah, I know. I know. I watched a few episodes though, Leah V. I watched a few episodes. I am interested in getting into some new shows though. So that's why I'm going to check out Ready to Love. I don't know what else is coming up. But I am interested. I am interested. So I'll look into some new stuff. I'll look into some new stuff. Hopefully, guys, if this platform grows, not if, when this platform grows, maybe I can actually get some bachelors on here and we all decide. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I'm not, that part, the way the dating game went about, that is dead. I'm not saying the idea of it is dead. We'll see. I would love to do it in a safe, consensual way. Until then, we got to put it to sleep. We got to put it to sleep. All right. Speaking of being put to sleep, let's talk about this episode. Dry boots, Debbie. Dry boots, Debbie. We could have kept it. So we opened up this episode with Amber in her beautiful home in Atlanta. And I didn't know. Wait, did Amber just move to Atlanta? Because I do not remember Amber or Puppy being in Atlanta. Is this new? Because it's new to me. I will say, when I saw that she was in Atlanta, I was just like, you know what? I got to choose my words wisely. I plan on being in them streets. Child, can you imagine Puppy running up on me, girl? And I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. You know what I mean? Like, those days are behind me. I'm pretty. I'm protecting my face. I am over the age of 25. My skin is not renewing like it used to. I'm not playing those games. After my brain became fully developed, I stopped fighting. I stopped fighting. So let me choose my words wisely when talking about Puppy. Puppy, I'm so proud of you. Real talk. I really, really am. I'm so proud of her for like that one moment that happened with Sam. She was just like, oh no, we're done. I'm not going back. And she didn't. Kicked him out, took his stuff, went with Puppy to go burn it, and she turned away and never looked back. I was really proud of her. Can I just say that Puppy is really not Puppy, it's Amber, right? Child, I'm talking about the wrong person. Can I just say that Amber is really turning a new leaf and like staying there. This is such progress, right? Because her entire environment is very sick, but she continues to go the straight and narrow. It's like she made up her mind that she was not going back to prison and she was not going back to that lifestyle. And she just never looked back. So proud of Amber. So proud of her. When she was having that conversation with Sham, and she was just like, you gotta go. You gotta go. And she meant it. And he never returned. I actually thought, because the way Sam was talking to her, I was actually concerned that this was like that she was in like an abusive relationship and this was going to be a process for her to get out of it. I apologize, Amber. I thoroughly did not, I wholeheartedly did not expect for you to walk out of that situation after that one moment. But I will say this, she was just like, I know that when he gets that way, that it's going to get worse. And I don't want to be involved in that. And I didn't say it last week because I just wasn't sure. But when Puppy was telling Amber that it seems like Sam is getting high again, I don't think that Puppy was saying that just to badmouth Sam. Sam did seem a little out of it, like the way he just flipped like that. And it was just like, are you flipping because you want to make this argument so that you can steal away and get high? Or are you really this upset? I couldn't tell the difference. And because I could not tell the difference, I couldn't really tell what it was. It leaves, space to think that maybe he's gone back into a darker place in his life that he was once out of. So it's also great that Amber got rid of him and is not associating with somebody who is not, who's also, an addict as well, who it seems like he's fallen off the wagon. So very proud of Amber. Very, very proud of Amber. Puppy, not so much. Here is why. Puppy doesn't take no for an answer. And I feel like that's great in career. You know what I mean? You gotta, if one door closes, you go through another one, or you try to open up a window and you try to climb to success. Good for you. But when you have somebody who consistently says, I don't want to be with you in that way, I want you to be my friend, that's the only way you are going to be in my life, and you continue to try to force this kind of old relationship back on them, it's a bit uncomfortable, right? Because this is the thing. If Puppy were a dude, we would have a problem with it. We would have a problem with it, right? Because I was team, girl power when she helped Amber pack up Sam's stuff and then, take it to a garbage dump or whatever and burn it, right? I was like, yes, that's what we do. Get him out of your life, right? But it was also very obvious that Puppy was doing that because she had an ulterior motive. She wanted to hurry up this process, get Amber to be fully over this guy so that she can step in his place. But I'm like, Amber constantly tells you that she does not want to be with you. You guys aren't in prison anymore. Like she's free, right? She has options and she's choosing other people over you. Take the hint and stop looking so desperate. Because after she helped Amber burn Sam's stuff, she's just like, let's go and let's make some babies. Amber laughed, but she's not taking you seriously because she's just not interested in you. And Puppy has done everything from, ruining her career to damn near killing herself to get this woman to want to be back with her again. And it's just not happening. Because even when Amber talked about you, Puppy, you were the one who was making it seem like you two were going to get married as soon as you got out of prison. Amber was basically saying that you were her comfort while you were incarcerated, but she looks at you as like a best friend / sister. Even when you watched that whole season, you still came back on another season talking as if there was hope for you and Amber. And I'm like, how many times does she have to say no? Like, when is her no good enough? Because she really does love Puppy, it seems like. And it seems like she really just wants her to be a friend. Because if she wanted to be with you, she would be with you. I think you got to let it go, Ma. I think you got to let it go. And I do honestly believe that in the trailer that we saw at the end of this episode, I think in that trailer, when she shows off a wedding ring, I don't think that's from Amber. I think that wedding ring is from that really, weird looking guy that she's with. He gives me like an evil Tweety Bird, doesn't he? He has Tweety Bird's face, but just a Tweety Bird were evil. That's what he gives me. I think he's going to propose to her, and I think that puppy may, say yes, but then she'll go to Amber and be like, "The only reason why I'm saying yes is because I don't know if you want to be with me, but if you say you want to be with me, I'll tell him no." And I feel like Amber's going to say yes, girl. I'll be your maid of honor. I feel like that's coming. I feel like that's coming. Again, very proud of Amber for closing that chapter on Sam so quickly. So quickly. She said, I'm not going back to prison. And my God, today she has made every change that needs to be made. She has done it. Look at her. She got a cute little house in Atlanta. Very new. Seems like she keeps it clean. Like she has turned her life around. Good for her. Good for her, because normally on these shows it takes them a while, right? It takes them a while to get it right, but not in this situation. Not in this situation. Good for her. Good for her. Lacey, Shane, and John. Lacey and Shane have no storyline, right? This whole lie detector thing, I believe that they were just doing that for content. However, this content got this marriage caught up in a situation. This is what I tell reality TV stars all the time. I tell them through my little, YouTube screen, play with anything else on the show but your marriage and your family, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing on this show that's real, right? Your marriage and your family. Everything else can be fake and put together. The friendships, the location, the job, all of that can be fake and forced and put together for a storyline by this show. But when you start playing with your marriage for a storyline, things like this happen, right? Because Lacey and Shane, in my opinion, are in a good place. They did not have anything going on, but they did not want to lose this money, right? They did not want to lose this reality TV show money by not being on this season. So what they did was fake this storyline about Shane cheating, and Shane possibly cheating, and Lacey possibly feeling like she wants to be back with John, right? So in that, you craft this storyline. So you have this whole thing where he's going to the gym all the time. He doesn't invite me. He invites you to the gym, and you make sure that the show hires this actress to walk up on Shane fully mic'd and act like she's flirting with him and never acknowledge you. And that gives you and the viewers a look into your suspicions, right? So this is why you think that he's cheating. Nobody is really catching on to the fact that this is an actor that they hired off of not Instagram. What they hire them actresses at for these shows? Craigslist. You know what I mean? Like, this is somebody they paid probably $125 to just show up and shoot this scene and leave. This woman does not know Shane. This woman does not work out at the gym. This woman was just hired to help further this storyline that Shane might be cheating, because then that leads us to the whole lie detector test, right? Because Lacey still doesn't know if her husband is cheating on her or not, and she still doesn't trust him, although she's emotionally cheating with her ex-boyfriend that she started dating when she was 16 years old. History, right? So she sets up this whole lie detector test to test Shane. Shane goes along with it because this is their storyline. He thinks that he passes this test with flying colors. Let me tell you something. The only person who was not in on this storyline was the lie detector test guy. Here's why. Lacey didn't hire him. The show hired him. Lacey said, I want to do this. I want to have a scene where I put Shane on a lie detector test, and I find out what he's saying, right? And I find out if he's telling the truth or not. So let's set that up. So what the show does is then go search for somebody in the area who can do a lie detector test, who can get to the location that they're going to film in time, who can be covered by insurance, who can show up, who's affordable, who will sign the appearance waiver or whatever that is, and who will take direction clearly, precisely, and will not be problematic. That's what the show does, right? They don't give this guy a script. They probably just tell him what questions to ask, but they don't, take over this job because this is an outside source being hired by the show. So this outside source who don't know what's going on, but he knows that he's being hired to be on TV, and these are the questions that they want him to ask. So he asks those questions. He don't know Lacey. He don't know Shane. He's telling Lacey and Shane after they do the test where Shane seemed to be deceptive. And this is when reality TV gets real, right? So he said, oh, he passed with flying colors. Although there were two questions. And let me tell you something. I wasn't expecting this twist. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give Lacey and Shane this. This twist threw me for a loop because I was like, girl. He was like, there's one question that there's two questions where there was deception. And Lacey is like, what are you talking about? Right? Because she's thinking that it's going to be, he is probably talking to the girl at the gym, which is what they talked about, right? So she is already prepared. She's ready to do her acting. Shane is already doing his acting. Man, I ain't do nothing. What you talking about? Well, I don't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. And you're like, what are you talking about, right? So he says there's one where he talks about with the question where I asked him if he was cheating, or if he were thinking about it, or if he may have done it or may have been in talks with it. That one was a little bit shady, right? It was his energy changed with that, his something in his body changed, and that showed me deception. And the other question, have you thought about or attempted to cheat with men? Males, men, lots of men. Like he stayed there. Men, tons of men, males. And here is Lacey listening to this whole thing. Wait, what? Because see, this is what I tell y'all. Do not play with your marriage on these TV shows, because at the end of the day, it's just a TV show for them and it's just content. This is your actual marriage. So you're ready to be like, oh, I know it was that hoe at the gym. You hear men, males, multiple men. And then because I'm watching everything that's happening, I'm seeing Lacey's face go from, what? Right? So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't in the storyline. This is when reality TV becomes real, because her reaction, she was like, wait, huh? What? What happened? And then Shane was like this, and he looked at the camera. He was like, I said, oh, there's some truth. There's some truth. Now, I know this show gives a lot of twists and turns. Bisexual Shane was not the twist that I thought. Now, Shane could not be bisexual. Right? He could actually be gay for pay, which is what he essentially admitted to. And here is how I know this was real. Because if Shane and Lacey planned this part of the story, Shane would not have been screaming all of those homophobic slurs on camera. Everybody's smarter than that, right? So Shane is sitting there and I'm watching his reaction. I'm just like, okay, so this is real. This really happened. Because he's like, what are you talking about? No, I moved my neck. So maybe that's why you thought that. And the guy was like, nah, I didn't get that. And I'm like, oh, he's not playing with the script. This man is not playing with the script. And Lacey's like, wait, I just gotta get out of here. Oh, I have to leave. The voice starts cracking. I'm like, oh, ciao. This is when it gets real. So she gets up, grabs her purse, sashays out, lips first. Then she starts talking to the producer. The producer's like, well, what do you want to do? She was like, I don't want to know anything. I just want to go. I told y'all, play with anything but your marriage and your family. Now you playing with this whole lie detector thing, thinking that this is going to go according to plan. And this man that got your man on TV talking about how he has thought about cheating with men, right? So then Shane says, I have an OnlyFans site and I sometimes flirt with men on the site for money, but I didn't want to talk about that because I didn't want the whole world to think I'm an F word and that I'm having sex with men for money. Now, Shane, this is what I'm gonna say to you, right? Those men who you were, let's be real, jacking off with, come on, you're OnlyFans. And listen, those men are going to expose themselves. They don't need to, right? But you have let us know that you are, you talk to them centrally or flirt with them and make them believe that you're going to cheat with them, right? But here, not cheat, but like make them believe that something is actually going to happen. But here is where you messed up. You said that you told them that you would meet up with them, but you actually weren't going to meet up with them because you're married and you're not gay. But you do toy with the idea for money. So you're gay for pay, right? Even if you're doing it for pay, you are still taking money from men who believe that they either or caught up in a fantasy that you give them that you can be with them. Now I don't know OnlyFans. I haven't watched his OnlyFans, but I highly doubt that he is just having conversations with these men. Especially with the pictures that this messy show showed to you. Did you see them pictures? Now I was just like, okay, say what y'all want and let him get out of this situation. But the fact that y'all showed them them zesty pictures of Shane, y'all know exactly what y'all doing. But what I wanted to say is those men were not F words when they were sending you money to fulfill the fantasy, right? And you was acting like you was a part of the community for a coin. So how all of a sudden does the men who are keeping your lights on by you probably sending them videos, telling them that you'll do certain things, sending them pics, how are they all of a sudden this homophobic slur when they're keeping a roof over your kid's head? Right? You trying to get all macho now, but I guarantee you that Macho Shane was not in the room when you was doing all that stuff on OnlyFans with those men. I am in no way shaming him. I am shaming him using that slur and all of a sudden getting angry, right? Because getting angry now, the world that this platform knows, and like everybody thinks that I'm an F word and on national TV because my wife wants me to do this lie detector test. All of that was real, and all of that stuff that he was saying, all of that was how he felt in that moment, and that is my problem because it's like it's a problem now that everybody knows, but it wasn't a problem when you were doing it and getting paid well for it. Weird. Very, very weird. And you should be. I didn't check the hashtag, so I don't know if anybody called them out on it. So I'm just using my platform and do that because I was just like, ooh, I get you and Lacey were playing with this storyline and got caught, right? But what the hell did the LGBTQ community do to you? Why are the gay men taking shots? Why are they taking shots when you were the one, when you were married and straight, telling these men that you want to come see them, telling these men that you want to do stuff with them and that you want them to do stuff to you and sending them pictures and doing all kinds of videos? Even Lacey said it. I didn't know what kind of videos it was until Lacey was like, he's jacking off to these men. I said, what? This is why I always say, play with everything else, but not your marriage and not your family. Because y'all over here playing with this storyline, and now all y'all private businesses out here. All now Shane is probably going to get rightfully canceled. Y'all should have just said, we're in a good place. We don't have anything going on. We can't film this season. You done created this mess, and now Lacey is in the corner talking to the producer, crying. Shane is sitting there angry, screaming homophobic slurs, and I'm just like, see, this is what I told y'all. Don't play with that. Play with anything else. Play with a fake job. Play with a fake house. Anything. Marriage and family, because it's going to get real at some point. Somebody going to get hurt, something going to get exposed, and it's going to be very hard to come back from that. So I was just like, yikes. I'm telling you guys, that everything that Lacey and Shane have done this whole time have been fake until that lie detector test. And when we got to that moment, that's when reality TV got real. Again, you guys can tell me. I don't know if Shane apologized for using that slur. I don't, but that like that. But him just saying that, I'm telling you guys, that's how I know it's real, because neither Shane or Lacey or the producers would allow them to put him going off like that in a storyline. They would be like, hell no, we are not doing this, right? Even if they encourage it, they would be like, no, this is not what's happening. It got real, and that was his raw emotion. And I'm just like, I don't even know why the show kept that in, because I'm just like, even if you blur it out, we know what he said. So it's not good for you, and it's not good for your talent. I don't know. I do not know, but I think you just messed up your very profitable fan base for you, because I don't know how your fan base is keeping your lights on is going to feel about being called a homophobic slur. Child, I always tell y'all, there is only one community in this world that can shake it up. That can shake, and it is the LGBTQ community. I'm telling you, that y'all so lucky. There are so many people. There are so many people that are so lucky that a lot of people within the majority of the LGBTQ community say, you know what, we're not going to say nothing, because baby, if they ever get tired and they decide to start talking, society will be flipped upside down. Upside down, baby. You see what happened with one lie detector test? Lacey was like, wait, what? What are you saying? Huh? Hold on. And then Shane was like, my wife wanted me to do this. Give her a lie detector test. Let's hear what she has to say. Oh, no, baby. Let's stay on you. Let's stay on you. You agreed to this. You agreed to this. And now here we are. This is why it's able to be called reality TV, because when they're even doing fake stuff, real stuff happens. And this was that moment. Hey, Advice Queen. Advice Queen said, I was shocked. I didn't expect the news. It was good, though. Listen, I was shocked, too. I was like, wait, huh? Because the guy was like, there's two things that he was deceptive about. So I'm like, here we go. It's the girl at the gym, isn't it? Well, there are men that he said that he would meet and have sex with. I said, huh? Wait. What? I will say this, right? And this is in no way protecting Shane. There are a lot of straight men who are like on OnlyFans and all like kind of porn sites who are doing porn that is geared towards gay men. Um, or you know what? I won't say that they're straight men. I say that they're straight identifying. Like this is what they say that they are. They are straight, right? Because there is a guy who has, a huge bubble butt, and he had a viral video on TikTok, and it was his girlfriend trying to like fit him into some jeans, some white guy with a mullet, and it was a video of his girlfriend trying to fit him into some jeans, and she was just like, he cannot fit in it because of this big butt. And it like, it just blew up on gay Twitter. Everybody was posting the video, and he, became very popular within the gay community. He now has a site where he like shows his behind off for money, like for men. Like men pay him to like show his butt, bend over, smack his behind, and him and his girl are perfectly okay with it. Why? Because they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. doesn't mean that the dude is gay, right? I mean, I don't know if he's doing anything else, but I saw a clip of him. You know, let me clarify that, right? It was trending. It was trending on Twitter. And gay Twitter. I don't know. Listen, I don't know how I end up in these places. It is what it is. But I was like, oh, that's that guy. Okay. Well, you know what? He's keeping his lights on. But he's still with his girlfriend. He identifies as straight. He does not identify as gay or bisexual, from my understanding, from what I have seen and from what he has said. But he is doing, porn light stuff on this site, like bending over, squeezing his butt cheeks. Like, come on. And the guys are like, the money and the likes are going up, and the guys are like, do this, spread them, do that. And he's doing it. Does that make him gay? No. But is he doing gay things for money? Is it gay for you know what I mean? Like, some things are happening. So, Shane could either be struggling or could be embarrassed. I definitely think he's embarrassed, but I was not expecting this twist. And see what happens when you play around with your marriage. Play around with anything else, baby, but that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me give this to Advice Queen. I'm sorry, Advice Queen. Thank you so much for the super chat. Baby. Hey, All Day Finesse. All Day Finesse said, I'm laughing because when Shane tried to insinuate that the lie detector man didn't know what he was doing, man took big offense and had to make it clear that he did not mess up. Shane is just a liar, LOL. Thank you so much for the super chat. That, in moments of this that was not funny, that was one of the funniest moments, because that guy, he rubbed his glasses. He said, no, I asked this question. Were you intending to cheat with men? I was like, oh my God. He just read the question over. He said, and you showed deception. I said, were you intending or planning to cheat with men, males, multiple men? You showed deception. He said, you won't take my business. I'm on the money. Y'all could have did anything else. I told y'all. I remember early in the season, I said, don't play with this. Don't play with this. I also said, don't play with John, because there is history there. And even though you're acting, you could be acting, reenacting something, and some things come up, some feelings come up. So she probably is, having these feelings for John. But I do want to say this, though, Lacey. Now, is Shane doing this on his own or without you? Because don't they have an own? Oh, thank you, All Day Finesse. If I didn't give this to you already, don't they have an OnlyFans together? So are you upset that he's doing this without you? Did he like branch off and become, gay for pay on his own? Like, did you not know about this one? Because when Mother said jacking off, I said, what did we miss? What did we miss? Because how did we go from you just talking to men, making them believe, like, arousing them and making them believe that you were going to go and be with them, to jacking off for these men on camera? We missed the whole scene. I think they probably cut that out, but I'm like, this episode was so dry. Y'all could have gave us this whole scene of Shane and Lacey and this meltdown. Y'all could have gave us that whole scene, because I was like, jacking off. When did he say that? What happened? And while all this is going on, the lie detector dude in the back, I said males, men, multiple deception. I was like, sir, shut up. You have already turned this marriage upside down. Be quiet. Close up your computer and go. Oh my goodness. Sup people, we got a super chat from Sup people. Says Shane might be afraid of his social group before he went on TV. In the criminal community tend to be, it's very weird how they are homophobic in prison, but very gay in prison. I don't, child, the way men jump through hoops to like hold on to this straight identity, it's like, let it go. It's toxic. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sup, people. Thank you. And not saying that there's anything wrong with, the men being straight, because, people try to come for me for all kinds of stuff. The channel is growing. I'm just saying that the straight identity that men have, that society has crafted for men, is very toxic. We need to expand that identity, because if we do, I think it will free so many men. But that's just me. That is just me. Yeah, that's the thing. Is Kima. Is Kima said he probably didn't want nobody to know, but Lacey knew. And I'm thinking, like, did Lacey know? Because they have an OnlyFans together. So she could either be upset that he was doing some porn on the side without her. But because so much was cut out, we don't know. We don't know. We do not know. Ciao. Anyway, let's move on, because I want to talk about that a bit more. Let's move on to John and Christiana. I don't think that Christiana should have invited all roads lead back to Mr. Hilton. All roads lead back to Mr. Hilton. Thank you so, Steph, for the super chat. That letter was a wild ride. A wild ride. Thank you so much, so, Steph. Ooh, ciao. John and Christiana. I don't think that Christiana should have invited Tara to her wedding, right? But again, that's her sister, her decision. Having said that, I also, do not want Tara being out there strung out on drugs in the streets, right? Like, I think what she did to her sister was horrible, but I don't wish ill will on her. So if that is the case, like, if she's out there in these streets, it seems like she's going to show up at the wedding. We don't know in what condition, because they did not show her. So I have no idea, but I feel like it's going to be really bad for John and Christiana if John calling Tara and telling her not to come to the wedding was a trigger for her and sent her out there in them streets. Now, listen, Tara is grown. Nobody is responsible for her doing drugs or relapsing and all of that stuff, right? I'm not going to put that on John. But I am saying that Christiana is going to feel some way if she knows that when her sister got that call, she made a really bad decision. Christiana is definitely going to feel some way because she loves her sister. And I feel like I could be wrong, but was Christiana Tara's introduction into drugs? Because Christiana is older. So I don't know if she followed her footsteps, or if, she led her down that path, or if she was her inspiration. But whatever it is, Christiana really feels guilty about something concerning her sister. And she always gives her chances after chance after chance, and always wants to protect her and help her. Because I'm just like, even after something like this, right? After your sister trying to not only steal your husband, but to make sure that you don't come back to the home that you invited her in, that you share with this man, right? She would not even come looking for you when you was out there strung out. So there was good reason for you to not even associate with her again, but she gave her so quickly. And I'm wondering if it's because of some internal guilt that she has, because her sister is also addicted to heroin as well. I don't know. It may not be the truth, but I'm just like, something's going on, because you forgive her real quick over major things. Major things, you get over it real quick. And your sister stays mad at you, but you don't stay mad at her. Let's unpack that. Carrie, John's friend. Sir, how much are you getting paid to show up every time this white man wants to play in your culture? I can never take Carrie serious. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you don't ever look at John and be like, dude, you look ridiculous. Whenever John wants to do something, some Native American ceremony and something concerning his culture, this man is always available. Ain't nobody else from the Native American community within their vicinity showing up for this foolishness, but Carrie is. Carrie, are you showing up for a check? Are you showing up for a check? Because I just can't fathom you just showing up because you believe in this and what John is doing. You got to be offended at some point, at least a little bit, at least a little bit. I, I, I'm offended that I'm not even Native American. So are you getting a good check for this, sir? Because you're always ready to exploit your culture for some foolishness concerning John. Child, I hope the check is good and I hope it clears. Stan and Lisa, why do we have this whole scene of Stan moping around the park and looking at old videos of his wife, only for him to put on his hat, hop in a car, and start texting another woman that ain't Lisa? I'm like, well, wait a minute. I was like, hold on, Stan, weren't you just crying in the park? I felt so bad. I was like, oh, Stan. Oh, I felt really bad for him. Then, as soon as he got in the car, first of all, he was running stop signs. How is he this horny? At 70, what, 7? He is very horny. He's like on the phone. Oh, whoa there. Whoa there. Like trying to text this woman to get her to come meet with him. Little did he know, Lisa, he was talking back and forth to Lisa. And I'm like, it's not only is Stan horny, Stan is horny. He's talking to this lady. He's like, when can I meet you? Let's go for dinner. Are you kinky? So we're already setting up what you want, right? You're not trying to meet this woman to like date her and be in a relationship with her if you're throwing out, are you kinky? You want to get right down to it. Are you going to put me in a straight jacket and bang me? Like, that's what I'm looking for. Like, you put it all out there. So it's just like, Stan, are you really looking for a relationship? And that's why sometimes I get upset with Lisa, because I'm just like, this was an arrangement. Why are you trying to expect something more from this situation all of a sudden? Is it because you put it on TV and now you want us to think that it's actually something more what you consider respectful than actually what it is? Because it's giving me trick and hoe situation. What's wrong with that? Everybody has hold for something. If you're an American, you hold for a job that you've hated. Everybody has hold for something. So there is no shame here. I don't know why you're trying to all of a sudden legitimize this relationship when you started off by saying you met him on Seeking Arrangements, which I never believed. I think Stan was riding downtown and he ran into Lisa. Well, I'm gonna back up off of that because I don't know for sure, but I'm like, anyway. So she's upset with him because she like wants to legitimize this relationship with Stan, but it seems like Stan doesn't. I don't. From what I've seen of Stan thus far, it seems like he doesn't want to be in a relationship. It seems like he just wants to be with like a young woman to do stuff with sexually that he probably could not have done with his wife. Listen, I'm not saying that the haircut means that his ex-wife was a square, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of times it's the squares that are the biggest freaks. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm saying that for some men, they cannot do certain things that they want to do with a woman that they love. They have to find somebody that they don't really care about so that they can, if they want to like humiliate them, they feel safe doing that because there's no love there, there's no care, and they don't hold that person in this kind of esteem. I think that's what it is, Lisa. I think that's what it is, because why are you saying, are you kinky? Do you have any kids? Like, he's trying to find, what he's trying to find is a Lisa without attachments. He wants a Lisa who does not have kids, right? He wants Lisa who is in a desolate situation like Lisa and will depend on him, but he doesn't want her to have kids or expect more from this relationship. Because if you read that whole text, he got right down to it. Can we meet for dinner? Are you kinky? Do you have any kids? Where are you now? Can we talk? Ma'am, sir, I'm just like, I thought the sex drive died after a certain age. Y'all lie? Are y'all lying? Are old people lying to us because they don't want us to think that they're having sex because they're our grandparents? Is that it? Because what is going on with Stan? And in them old folks' homes, y'all are a mess. Y'all don't want us to know that y'all be banging because y'all are grandparents. But at this point, we know y'all banging more than the young people. Y'all banging more than the hoes that got periods. Anyway, thank you so much, Valenzi. Thank you so much for the super chat. Lied to me and said that it slows down. I don't have a sex drive anymore. It's tripled. Y'all lying. He got right down to it. And that's another thing I want to say about this Stan and Lisa situation. Lisa's like, oh, look at him. He's ready to cheat on me. Aren't you cheating on him? Who are you talking to? There is somebody that whenever she gets mad at Stan, she picks fights with Stan to go and see this person. So what are you doing? How are you mad at him for doing what you're essentially doing? And you were talking to somebody else in front of him when he was buying you a car. So how is Stan wrong? Same thing with Lacey. How are you mad at Shane that he probably entertained the idea of actually going to see some of his Johns? They must have been offering some good money. Let me tell you something. Um, there are a lot of people who will do something for a coin. Okay. There are a lot of people who, identify a certain way, but will have, sex with somebody they're not attracted to, or that sex for coin. I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of your Hollywood heartthrobs have done some things. Have done some things. That's why a lot of them be in rehab. You know what I mean? You're like, I can't believe they got all that money and fame. Why are they acting crazy? The casting couch is real. The casting couch is real. Stay woke. So child, I don't know. I do not know, but I'm telling you, that storyline did not go the way that Shane and Lisa and Lacey thought. Anyway, let's move on from Stan and his horny, big cheating self. My God, today. Right down to it. Brittany and Ray. Brittany on this episode revealed that she had an ectopic pregnancy, which is why she is so adamant on getting pregnant with Ray. Because one, she knows that it'll either be difficult for her or she might not be able to have kids. And she also met with the doctor who, while Ray was in the room, who said that that she's getting older and she needs to do it right now. This is what I want to say about that. Why does the age for women to get pregnant, like, why is the window getting bigger, like shortening more, right? Before it was just like, oh, you make sure you have a baby before you're 40. Like then it was make sure you have a baby before you're 37. Now it's like make sure you have a baby before you're 33 because it's getting old and it's getting real difficult. Like what are we supposed to start having babies? Because y'all said we was too young to have them. Y'all told us to live our lives. Now it's like, should we have been having babies when we were babies? Like, what's going on? Should we all have been teen moms? Was that the wave? Because what is going on? He was like, oh yeah, 33, that's difficult. What the hell is difficult about getting pregnant at 33? This is news to me. Y'all should have let us know. We all should have been teen moms. Oh God, could you imagine? Could you imagine? I would be like sending my kid to college. I dropped my baby off at Howard. Ciao. We're both millennials. Me and my baby 10 years apart. Like what? I was like 33 is old, too old to have a baby now? My God, today. Is 33 too old to have a baby for the poor and working class? Because Eve is pregnant. Ain't Eve like 42? Is she like 40? I think she's somewhere. She's somewhere early 40s, she got to be early 40s. Ain't no way she late 30s. Early mid 40s. Congrats, Eve. I was so happy like it was me. I was so happy like it was me. I was so happy for her. Congrats, Eve. But telling that lady that she has to have a baby now because she's turning 33 and it'll get difficult. I was like, oh my God. Maybe we should have been banging. Banging at 14, like back in the Bible days, because they were having kids at 14. Should we have done that as well? I'm telling you, the rules always change for women. The only thing that is consistent is the rules for men. The rules for us just always change. And I'm wondering if that's real tea, if that's actual factual, or is it like money behind that? Because I'm telling you, you have to watch, ladies. I highly suggest. Oh, everybody! I highly suggest you watch the Adam Ruins Pregnancy. Watch that episode. I'm in it. Give me my residuals. I'm in it, but I learned so much on that episode. Adam ruins pregnancy. Look it up. Look it up. A lot of stuff, a lot of procedures and all, things that women should and shouldn't do that doctors are saying. A lot of it, money. Money is behind it, not actual facts or truth. Anyway, so so Ray finds out that Brittany had an ectopic pregnancy, and it might be difficult for her to conceive, and that is why Brittany wants to like have a child now because she has this doctor that's scaring her and telling her that she's 33, so she's elderly, so she needs to like do it right now. Hearing Brittany say that, first of all, my heart went out to her. My heart went out to her. And then my anger turns towards Ray. Here is why. When she revealed that, right? The first thing that Ray said was, especially like we cut to his confessional, but the first thing he said was, "Oh, so it's going to be difficult for you to have a child." Read the room. Read the room. Then he says in his confessional, "Man, I'm upset because I want a lot of kids." And I'm not saying he has to deny that, right? But let's live through this moment first. The woman you love, the woman who loves you, just revealed something very tragic that happened to her. Why are we going to you wanting to have children? Why are we thinking about you might not be able to have kids? That might be what's happening to you in that moment, but what she needed was your comfort. Because when he said that, she was just like, maybe that I may not be able to have kids. That's why I wanted to, get on it right away and like started explaining. And I'm like, in that moment, she should not have needed to do any of that. She should have just been loved and hugged and encouraged by you. Read the room, bro. Read the room. Even the music changed, right? The music was really, really sweet instrumental music when Brittany was talking about her atopic pregnancy. And then as soon as it got to Ray, the music immediately stopped because he killed that moment. He killed that moment. Taking off your mask. Oh, so you gonna have trouble having kids? You might not be able to have a baby. Yes. Did you not hear the doctor? Where have you been? Because you had a mask over your mouth, not over your ears. Bro, read the room. Brittany and Marcelino, it's time. It's time to wrap them up. It's time. It's time for you guys to go on about your way because, yes, I get it. If somebody scans me out of $80,000, I probably will be in my pool, fully clothed, walking around with my head to the sky, smoking a cigarette. However, there was just no need for this to be on this episode. There was no need. It was like just wasted content. There was no need. It wasn't interesting. It did not help their story. Now I feel like they're going to start playing around with Brittany's addiction because in the trailer, her mom says, "Do you feel like you're about to relapse?" Like, why are we going down that road? Wrong road? You're going down the wrong road. And I don't want her to like start using her possibly relapsing as a storyline, right? Because this one is running stale. Here's why. It's the same reason why I said don't play with your marriage on these TV shows. Because although something might not be real, you're reenacting something. So you're going through those steps and you're living it. Although it's fake, you're living it and going through it again for our entertainment. And you're putting yourself in a really risky space within your mind and your emotions. And if you are not a trained actor, and I'm saying trained because you have to know how to get there and come back. Because some people play around with this craft and they can't come back from those characters that they played, right? So I'm very concerned about that. I really, really am. And this is what happens when you don't have anything. Unfortunately, if you're in a good place on reality TV, unless it's a family reality TV show, they don't want you. They want drama. They want confusion. They want, stuff that'll be trending. And you being in a good place on a TV show that is about felons, unfortunately, America doesn't want to see felons doing well. They want to see the drama that will come with that. There's a reason why Tracy and Clint really built this show. There's a reason why one of the most iconic lines from the show is MF and crack. Unfortunately, that stuff sells. It really, really does. So, yeah, Brittany and Marcelino, they don't need to be on this show anymore. And I'm very concerned that now that they're in a good place and they don't have anything, any kind of drama to really show us that we're going to start playing around with Brittany's addiction. Not a good look. Not a good look. What did you guys think about this dry boots episode? I tried to make the most of it. I hope you see how hard I've tried. What do you guys think? Oh, you know what, Marianne? Let me tell you something about Marianne. Whenever I bring up Christiana, Marianne reminds me every time. And I'm glad she does because I always forget about this. I always forget about this. Marianne said Christiana slept with her sister's baby daddy, but they were not married. Not that that even matters, just the fact that she slept with him. She, of course, has forgiven her. So that may be it. Tracy said, Stan played me too. I was feeling so bad for him that he hopped in his car and he was looking for the next trick. How are you 70? What is he 77? Somewhere in them 70s. How are you somewhere in them 70s and you are a wreck all the time? You're a wreck like a teenager. How are you there all the time? It don't ever, go soft, to be real. It don't ever take a break. Are you taking something? He's just constantly thinking about sex. Do what you gotta do. All hell, King Rose said, yeah, had me for a minute until he pulled that. Ryan, get out of here. Time out. Time out. Ryan says Stan had on his gray sweatpants on tonight, ladies. Time out. Time out, Ryan. Marianne said Lisa should not be surprised if you put the bed out for Stan, especially the way he's feeling right now. He's going to take it. If she was doing what he thought that she was going to do, he wouldn't. Listen, it's just very weird to me how Lisa expects something from Stan now, right? We haven't seen you guys talk about it. You like want him to treat you like a legitimate girlfriend when that has never been your relationship. I'm not saying that how she feels is wrong. I'm just like, girl, that's not your relationship. And if you're looking for that, Stan is not the guy for you. Stan wants, kinky sex. Kinky sex. And he does not want to be bothered with an actual relationship. The only reason why he's okay with you living in his house because he's wanting to be kinky all the time. So he can have his cake and literally eat it too, child. Literally. Oh, really? Is that a concern? So he shouldn't be having all that sex at his age? Oh, girl, I don't know. Black Lavender said Lisa really don't care about Stan. She cares about his money. Obvious. Obvious. Which is why nobody is buying this. Oh, I want him to marry me and all this stuff. Girl, you want him for his coin. And he's aware of that, right? But that was your relationship. Seeking arrangements. That was your relationship. Why are you trying to make it something else? Are you trying to fool the audience? Because we're not fooled. Dia, hey, what's up? Said this is a trick and hole situation. Absolutely. Lisa needs to stop pretending like she cares about who he's talking to other than her. Absolutely. The only reason why she cares is because that woman will probably be cutting into her coin. That's why she cares. That is why she cares. Orange Turtle said, for me, it screamed cultural appropriation. No different from when I see people use tarot cards for fake purposes, dressing like my ancestors. You ain't Roma. Bad karma. You better tell it. You better tell it. JG said, I think the issue is Lisa and Stan had an agreement that she'd be his only one, or she wasn't expecting him to be so loose. It's just sending me that Lisa is getting played by somebody in their 70s. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going through young man stuff with somebody in their 70s? Can you imagine? My God, today. Marion says sex drive doesn't die, especially not for men. Only problem with this is they need the blue pill. I'm telling you guys, I feel like everything that we have been taught about sex is just false. And I think or not just sex, like our bodies and everything, all of it is just false. I just feel like a lot, not all of it, but a lot of it is just false. And I think a lot of it has to do with religion and the religion and manipulation of the rich, right? To keep certain society, to keep certain classes doing certain things, or keep them in a certain number in a certain way, because it's just like we all have been taught a certain way about our bodies, especially women. We're not even taught the half of it, right? You're figuring that out on your own. You're like, I didn't even know my body could do this, because you weren't taught that, right? Because if you're taught that, then all of a sudden sex becomes pleasure for you. And as we have been taught, sex is not supposed to be pleasurable for the woman. Now we're like, no, we should enjoy this as well. Now, because just recently, I told you guys about that sex doctor. There was like a clip of her that went viral on Twitter, and she was talking about that it takes about 40 minutes. Like the foreplay is necessary for a woman, because it takes about 40 minutes for the clitoris, I believe, or just for a woman to be fully aroused and ready for sex. Like, the entrance, the clam is not ready for entrance unless she's been, you know, played with for like 40 minutes. Oh, ciao. And like under that viral clip, so many women were like, "Thank you. I've been saying this. I knew something was off." And all these women just coming together like, "Oh my God, this is so true. Thank you for saying this. I knew something. I thought I was broken," and all of this stuff, right? And then there's a bunch of men under there like, "That's not true. How do you know?" No, absolutely not. It doesn't take my girl. And I'm like, so many men were just under there, just admitting that they were awful at sex and did not care. Because at the end of the day, it's about him reaching his climax, not the woman. Child. That's why I always say, especially women who have grown up in like very strict religious societies, when you get to a point, if you ever are able to get out of that and start being able to think for yourself and stand on your own opinions, I highly suggest you taking like some kind of sex class or sex course to really learn your body, because we're not taught about our body. We just got to figure this stuff out to really learn your body, how it operates, and find your voice sexually. I can't believe we're here. Let me move on. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Tracy said nursing homes have high STD rate. Absolutely. 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 And I only knew about that from my friend who actually worked at a nursing home. And she was like, I have to constantly break up them having sex. She was like, that's just a part of my job. That's no, you can't do that here. Please, ma'am, put your teeth in. Stop sucking him. Like, she's like, that is my job. I was like, really? She was like, Nikki, they have one foot in the grave and, one hand or mouth and somebody else. Like, it is a mess in them old folks' homes. And she was just like, the STD rate is high there because they think because they're old, they can't catch an STD. And she's just like, and then the STD spreads like wildfire throughout the nursing home because everybody is having sex with each other. It's just an elderly orgy. Who is Courtney from 90 Day Fiance? Who is Courtney? Like the name is familiar, but I can't make out the face. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany said no one's topping Mr. Hilton because he wanted to top everyone. Rest in peace, dating game, replay game. Oh my God. Ryan said there's a high prevalence of STIs in retirement communities. And the male female ratio works in men's favor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tracy is bringing up the live where we discovered Mr. Hilton. Marianne said, "Oh, Nick, you are so right. The window is definitely closing in on us, and the reason is because they want us to pay to get our absolutely that is a big. I'm telling you, that's talked about in Adam Ruins Pregnancy. It's talked about that that was never the case until fertility doctors found that they could make a lot of money by convincing women that they have to get pregnant at a certain age. If not, they won't be able to. And the best way to make sure they get pregnant is to freeze their eggs. But what actually happens is that a lot of women, oh, men and women families pay into this and they end up not needing the eggs that they froze because they were able to get pregnant. Like they're I don't want to say that fertility doctors are a scam because I know a lot of them are, helping and blessing a lot of people, but just look into why it started. Adam Ruins Pregnancy. I highly recommend it. I'm not just saying it because I was on that episode. I'm saying because I learned so much. Me and the women that were on that episode, when like we were at lunch and we were reading over the script, like, oh my God. Oh my God, this is so eye-opening for all of us. It was so good. So good. Laura Becker said, we have 1 year window of time. We're supposed to have all these babies. Like, we should have been teen moms at this point. Like, come on. Yep. Liked by many said, they trying to take us back to the 1800s, pop out a baby at 14. And I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of that is because women are experiencing a surge in their own independence, and a lot of women are choosing not to have babies, and a lot of women are choosing themselves, and that's unheard of, right? So I feel like that fertility is playing in that area as well, because the younger we are, and if you strap us down with a relationship and family at a younger age, it's going to be harder for us to get out of it and make a decision that we probably would not have made had our brain been fully developed, right? You start seeing, men differently after a certain age. Yeah, 35 is considered geriatric pregnancy. I'm telling you, all the women in my family, all the women except for like three, have had children later in life, because everybody, the women in my family, because we're at the majority, we're always encouraged to go to school and have some kind of career. At least my mom and my generation, my grandma's generation was the opposite, right? But that generation of the women in my family was the generation who told us, you better get everything that you can get, because when you become a wife and a mama, that thing changes up real quick. So they were all encouraging us to do this and do that. And I'm like, should we have been pregnant at 13? What is going on? At all, Laura. But that doctor was telling her, oh, you're running out of time. I was like, at 33, she's running out of time? What? Why is it getting, the age is getting younger and younger? I'm telling you, I feel like patriarchy is involved. Hey, JG said, it's our lifestyle and work life. People are talking about how advanced, yep, I was just about to say that. How advanced quarantine babies are fresh out because of the lack of stress and running around. I was just about to talk about that because I saw a TikTok about it from it's a baby doctor. I don't know what they're called. It's a pediatrician. Somebody a baby doctor who delivers babies. One of them, and she was talking about how people are saying that it's the vaccine, or that something is in the. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Amanda said, knowing this was on the way got me through a hard week. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda, for the Venmo. Love you. Thank you. But the baby doctor, the baby deliverer doctor, she was saying that that's the common sense. That's what people are thinking, that because it's just something in the vaccine, is it something in the air? What has happened? And she said basically what has happened is women are allowed to rest. Excuse me, we're allowed to rest while pregnant, because you will always have a high risk pregnancy if you are doing anything strenuous, if you are doing any kind of job that takes you from the time that you need to be resting and nurturing your child. She's like, a woman is not supposed to be working pregnant. It's just not like you can do it, right? But there are risks, right? And it's actually consider like with black women, we're actually considered high risk because we normally work all the way up and sometimes past our due date. So that's why a lot of us are considered high risk, because a lot of us do not have the luxury to be able to work from home or not work at all while we're pregnant. A lot of us are in that field. I remember I told you about the girl I used to work with at the Gap. I remember her like waddling into work. And I was like, girl, what are you doing here? Like, isn't this your due date? And she was just like, oh girl. She was like, he's taking forever to come. I had to come into work. I was like, did you have to come into work? She's like, yeah, my boyfriend can't afford to take care of me and the baby. That's another conversation. But she literally had to work all the way up until past her due date, and then she cut her maternity leave short because she needed the money. So she couldn't even, like, thank God we worked in the same section because we were both gene specialists at the Gap. 34th Street Gap jean specialist. So I did a lot of the footwork, right? I allow her to just stay in like the corner and like lean on the lean on the bootcut jeans and just fold certain, like she had to, like she was working, but I took up the majority of the work that we both had to do because I was a kid. I did not just have a baby. I could do it. And I was like, I'm not letting you do this. You know what I mean? She got stitches in her stomach and so she can't even walk it. Ciao. But that's a reality for a lot of women, especially a lot of black women, especially a lot of working class and below the poverty line and below the poverty line women. And that's why this whole joke about pandemic babies, but that's really how our children should be, because we should not be stressed out while carrying a life in our bodies, because every pregnancy, if you really want to think about it, is high risk. It's high risk, especially if you're doing something high risk. So that's where we're at. If you are just joining us, this is about Love After Lockup. I don't know how we got here. Hey, Renee Smith. Renee Smith said, my friend had her baby in her 30s and the doctor told her she was high risk because of her age. Ciao. Oh, Like by Minnie said, my sister had healthy triplets at 45. I know they say 35 considered geriatric, but science has come a long way and people are taking better care of themselves these days. Yep. Yep. JG said people aren't talking about how many men are shooting blanks these days. It's just not the woman. Absolutely. But again, patriarchy, patriarchy. Hey, Miss Brown Sugar. Miss Brown Sugar said every body is different. A lot of factors that can make being older more risky for women. How early they started, menstruating hormones, other GYN issues. It's likely that we just know more now. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I hope that maternity leave is extended in America. I know in Sweden, maternity leave is like a year or something like that. I think we need to have that. I think it needs to be that long because I just feel like so many babies will be born healthy if women are able to actually take a break while they are pregnant. Dr. M said pregnancy is so complicated and a very delicate situation because you are in charge of two humans and have to also consider the family dynamic before, during, and after labor is over. Absolutely. JG said also the increased number of fibroids in Black women and the number one cure, insurance covers being removing the, yes, when there are other child. I remember I was having really bad cramps and they thought it was fibroids, and I was at the doctor's office with my mom. I was a kid, and they were talking about that. Like, I'm like 15 years old. They're talking about giving me a hysterectomy. My mom was like, what? Hell. My mom got me out of that doctor's office so fast. She said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The next doctor I went to put me on a patch, but they took me off of it because it was causing blood clots. And then after that, I discovered ibuprofen and I've been fine ever since. And also, I don't know if this may work for you guys if you have, really bad cramps. Again, welcome to Love at the Lockup. But I've been drinking, not drinking, but I've been taking like spoonfuls the week before my cycle and the week during of blackstrap molasses. It's been working. It's been working for me. Hey, all hell, King Rose said it's more to say that they can stay home, they're resting, eating well, and less stress and spending quality time with the baby instead of throwing them in daycare to be ignored all day. Yeah, very true. Laura Becker said capitalism got us out here working up until the day we get induced and give birth. Yep, absolutely. Which is why a lot of working class, lower class, below the poverty line children, um, or a lot of women who fit those classes have a lot of miscarriages. But them rich ladies, babies, not all of them, you know what I mean? But it's like it's higher within our communities because those class communities, because we're literally working up to the day we have to give birth. And that is not how it should be. That is not how it should be. JG said, and no one's talking about why there's such an increase in the cases of fibroids in Black women is scary. Have so many family members who have suffered. If you suffered, I pray for you. Thank you so much. Same thing within my family. Same thing. It's not. It's not, but it's expensive. It's expensive. TJ said, Canada, you can take, oh, wow, you can take up to 18 months from maternity leave. I love that. Canada looking like the move. I wish it wasn't so cold. I wish it wasn't so cold. Dr. M said, Nikki Star TV, imagine trying to explain to an African man that he is the reason they are not getting, yeah. I have actually been called a witch before. That's a whole other story. My God, today. Sending your love at the lockup stories. Love after lockup, love during justice. Sending your love stories. Let's talk about it. Miss Gigi said, I had huge fibroids removed years ago. It was so bad that I had a hard time going number one and getting pregnant. We now have a 6-year-old and she was worth it. I'm enjoying this more than the dating game. This is beautiful. I also went natural. Oh, congrats, Miss Gigi. Congrats. Oh, no, some people, for all who probably joined late, we have, I have decided to end the not celebrity. Should I turn the dating game into celebrity felons? Because that's I'm gonna look into it, but I've decided to end the dating game. Here is why. Last week the death row guy just really did a number on my soul. I did not feel comfortable, and whatever I read was not good. So I didn't feel comfortable after that. And then also I started to just think about consent. And for me, it just didn't sit right with me because those men never agree, men and women whose profiles we read did not agree to come on my platform to share their profiles, right? It just happened in one moment. And, I looked up a prison dating site and I was able to see some profiles that were public. I will say that. And I read, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think they, wrote those profiles except for Mr. Hilton for, a comedic reading, right? So I just didn't feel comfortable. It just wasn't comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable and it wasn't fun for me anymore. And if it's not fun for me, I know it won't be fun for you guys because I'm the host, right? And I have to deliver it in a way that will bring you entertainment. And I felt like I could not do that. So what I wanted to do was I have a lot of people here who are in love after lockup, love during lockup, and love before lockup situations. So I wanted, to open it up to you guys. If you wanted to share your stories, send your love after lockup, love before lockup, love during lockup stories. Send them to my Instagram at NikkiNicoleStar. DM me, and next Friday I will read, with your consent, I will read those stories and share them here with the Star family. I feel better with doing something like that. And again, when you do submit your stories, please just let me know if you want me to share your name or be anonymous, whatever it is. But if you want to share that, let's do it. I may throw a celebrity in there. We'll see. We will see. All Day Finesse, thank you so much for the super chat. All Day Finesse says, so apparently Shane did not only talk about meeting up with men. He actually has done it. Thank you so much for the super chat. All day finesse. Hit me up on Instagram. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Hold on. Let me go to my Twitter right now. Let me search this hashtag. Let me search this hashtag. Love after lockup. I knew it. I knew it. Child, love after lockup, Shane. Latoya Sade said, "Why are they showing these pics of Shane looking zesty? I am hollering. They knew what they were doing. This is zesty. I'm sorry. They knew what they were doing." All day finesse. Send me what you got. Send me what you got. JG said, "I knew it. Shane and the Thin Bang gave me more than internet gave for pay. That's why Lacey was so bothered, because it was not something that they had discussed. It was not a part of this storyline." I don't see anything. I don't see anything, but these tweets are oh God, I don't see anything but these tweets. Oh, you know what? I will say this. Hazelite Queen said, "I'm so tired of the gay shaming. If Lacey can be bisexual, so can Shane." Lacey's bisexual? I know she did videos with Nicole. Deontay's Nicole. I don't see anything. Hold on, let me check and see if y'all DM me anything. Cause I'm just like, yeah, I don't see anything, y'all. I don't see nothing. Not on my Twitter. Not on my Twitter. It's just a lot of jokes. It's just a lot of jokes. Yeah, I don't see anything. If y'all got something, send it to me. Send it to moi. But anyway, let me get out of here. I'll wait for like one more minute. But some people said, "Did you start You yet?" I'm on episode 7 of season 3. Wow, I have not started You yet. Here is why I have not started You, because I just started Squid Game and I cannot stop watching it. Guys, I had so much. I started watching it last night, fell asleep on it, woke up watching it. I think I might finish the season this weekend, because I cannot stop watching that show. It's really, really good. Like, I don't get into stuff for the hype, but my family watched it and they were like, "Oh, you have to watch it. It's so good." And I watched the first episode just to see if it was worth the hype. By the way, thank you for the super chat. And the writing is so good on Squid Game. It's so, I was drawn in that very first episode, and I'm still in the thick of it with this show. It's really good. Highly recommend Squid Game. The writing is impeccable. Acting is A1 too, but the writing impeccable. I did see a tweet where a Korean actress, where she was just like, watching it with subtitles and with it being dubbed, you're doing yourself a disservice, because the subtitles, the translation is not correct, and the dubbing is taking away a lot of meaning. I can't speak Korean, mama. I can't speak or read it. So I gotta watch it with the subtitles or dubbed. I realize that I'm going to be missing a lot because the dubbing is just very lazy. But even with the lazy dubbing and subtitles, it's still a really good show. A really good show. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Some people said 456 on Squid Game is such a bad father. Yeah, he is. But what a valuable lesson he's learning. What a valuable lesson he's learning. And let me tell you something. Says a lot about capitalism, doesn't it? Shows you a lot about capitalism. So sad, but the show was so good. Anyway, family, let me get out of here. Please make sure you give this video a like. Please submit to me. I also put like another video out, and I also put a post up so that, you know, if you feel safe submitting, just not safe, but if you want to, I don't know why I say safe. If you want to submit to me your love stories, your Love After Lockup love stories, and we'll read them and we'll share in the next live. But dating game is dead for now. I may bring it back, but it'll definitely be a lot different when I bring it back. It'll be a lot lighter and it will be with consent. So look out for that. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and a great weekend. And I will see you soon for something else. Love you much, family. Bye. Let me go back to watching Squid Game. It's so good. Shout out to the replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social medias. Thank you guys for getting me to 13K. We're on our way to 14K. I could not have done it without you. I appreciate it. Love you, family. Bye.